We are Black Horse. We are Ohio.
The weather outside has been frightful, and the offense has been anything but delightful. One swing yesterday of Lucas Duda's bat led KC to victory, and the Indians have now played a league-leading 6 one-run games on the year. Pitchers, well, they're hot. And Mike Clevenger gets the nod today, coming off a flawless outing in Anaheim. Maybe the bats can heat up this afternoon in some downright frosty conditions. Next on Sports Time Ohio. Don't let the sunshine fool you. It is downright frigid once again here at Progressive Field. In fact, this has the potential to be the coldest game ever played in this ballpark's 25-year history. Hi again, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. Indians will try to take 2 out of 3 from Kansas City, and they might have the right guy on the mound to do just that. Mike Clevenger gets the nod, and he was outstanding his first time out.
He certainly was against his former team, the Angels. He went out and pitched 5 1/3 innings. He attacked the hitters. He walked 2. He struck out 5, and it was something they need. Now, the Indians are going to try to win their first series of the year, and hopefully Clevenger can do that because he has pitched very well against the Central Division. Last year, 7-3. He's 3-0 against the Kansas City Royals, and overall as a starter, 11-4, 2.84 ERA. He's the right man to have on the mound.
Last year, he pitched in 3 rubber games for the Tribe. They won all 3, and he allowed a total of just 3 runs. We'll be back with today's first pitch. Plus, Alan Jensen will stop by with the showstopper. They'll tell us Philadelphia scored more runs last night in one game than they did in their previous 6 games combined. Cleveland Indians baseball is brought to you by Who But WB Mason, the official office supplier of the Cleveland Indians. And by Cleveland Clinic Express Care online. Tap the app for 24/7 virtual visits.
Played it. They've had one in every series so far this year. Welcome back to center field along with Jensen Lewis, Al Pulowski. Great to have you here today as the Indians try to get this done behind Mike Clevenger. Let's take a look at our showstopper and our big story in Philadelphia. The Phillies 20 runs in 1 inning.
Now they had 2 grand slams out. Carlos Santana, former Indian, hits a 3-run homer for his 1,000th career hit. And the Miami Marlins, yeah, there it goes. Miami Marlins feeling a little snake bitten, you think, right? Oh, they get Jake Arrieta for his first start of 2018 today. One of the prize free agent signings for this club. Going to be interesting to see if they can rebound. But boy, what an offensive explosion last night in Philadelphia.
It was absolutely crazy. Maybe we'll see that today in Cleveland.
Yeah, right. I'll take the under.
With this weather. All right, let's set it upstairs. Matt Underwood, Rick Manning, Andre Knott have the call. Fellas, stay warm up there.
Al, we're picking ourselves up off the floor. You said they did that in 1 inning, and I went, what? 1 inning? Well, it was still impressive nonetheless what Philadelphia did. And the Indians would just like a little taste of that, Arch. Just a little bit of that.
I'm going to take the under as well, but I'll tell you what, I want to see him get double-digit hits and just put some runs on the board. That would be fine.
Yeah, no question about it. Well, it's going to be frosty. We're looking at a record-setting game time temperature of 32 degrees here at Progressive Field. That's the coldest we've ever had for a game in this ballpark. Andre Knott has more on how the players are coping with this.
Well, I will say this. It feels better currently right now. Hi, Frankie, you cold? Yeah, see, Frankie's cold. But Frankie's ready. It does feel cold out right now. And I know people probably are sick of hearing it, but having the sun out is helping a little bit. But for some of these guys, this is new for them. For Bradley Zimmer, who hails from California, he's had to go through a couple different ways to get prepared in today's Hear Right Sounds of the Game.
I mean, as you can see, I'm pretty used to this weather, and I'm seasoned for it, so body's loose as soon as you come outside. But yeah, I'm ready to roll, man.
Being a California guy, how do you stay warm out in the outfield? And how much do you have to worry about the weather or the wind and dealing with it?
Well, you try and move around and then just pray that the wind doesn't come through. And yeah, I mean, just act and look as tough as you possibly can.
That was Bradley Zimmer, who will be in center field. I know you didn't see his face or his eyes, but that was him. And I think the main thing that he said right there is true, guys. You just got to act like you're tough. And that's what Terry Francona has told his players. Stop worrying about it. Just go out there and play. We can't change anything. And Tito said he would love to be able to push these games back and play them at some other point in time. But that doesn't work in Major League Baseball. So go out there, play, and make the most of the situation.
Boy, these are the conditions that truly define what mental toughness is all about.
No question about it. You can look at that team and you couldn't tell half of our players if you saw them standing there with how they're dressed, to be honest with you. And you're right. There's nothing. You're going to have to deal with it. You have to just put up with it and get after it. And I know they're doing it. Both clubs have done that in the first 2 games of this series. You figure, again, it's going to be a low-scoring game with the conditions they have.
Yeah, and for what it's worth, as Andre pointed out, there's something about at least having the sun and the blue skies.
Yeah.
You know, it helps a little bit.
Well, when I woke up this morning out east, it was snowing, and I see blue skies. I feel a lot better myself, personally. Let's check it out today. Mike Clevenger is going to be our Northern Ohio Honda starting pitcher, and Clev had a beautiful start in his first game out in Los Angeles, where he went 5 1/3 innings, gave up 4 hits. He walked 2, struck out 5. He left leading that ball game 5-0, so he's 1-0, and he's had a lot of success against Kansas City in his career. He's 3-0. He was 2-0 last year. As a matter of fact, almost a year ago, he made a start against Kansas City and shut him out in 5 2/3 innings. So let's hope he can do the same thing today.
Ned Yost starting lineup for the Kansas City Royals. John Jay will lead it off. Whit Merrifield batting second. They each have 2 hits in the series. Mike Moustakas will bat third. Lucas Duda, who homered yesterday for the game's only run, will bat cleanup. Then it's Jorge Soler, Ryan Goins, Alcides Escobar, Alex Gordon, and Cam Gallagher will bat ninth.
Let's check out the defense behind Clevenger, brought to you by Ram. It'll be Michael Brantley in left, Bradley Zimmer in center, and Tyler Naquin just added to this squad today. He'll be over in right. Jose Ramirez at third, Francisco Lindor at short. Jason Kipnis is at second, Yonder Alonso at first, and Yan Gomes back behind the plate.
Ted Barrett, the crew chief, will call the balls and strikes this afternoon. Lance Barksdale is at first base. Roberto Ortiz at second, and Will Little is down at third. Terry Francona's club trying to win the rubber match today and get to 4-5 on the year. Kansas City has played just 6 games. Ned Yost's club, they've dealt with a lot of the weather issues early on. They've already got a pair of doubleheaders.
Yeah, and it's been a crazy schedule for Kansas City. This is going to be the first time they're playing 3 days in a row since right before they left spring training. You know, and that's not a good sign. You want to keep your guys playing every day, but the off days, the rain outs or cold outs, whatever they are, it's not a good sign.
Well, Progressive Field has already been host to the coldest World Series game ever played. That was Game 4 in 1997 when the first pitch temperature was 38 degrees, but the wind chill made it feel like 18. Today we're underway as Clevenger delivers a first pitch strike. It's 32 degrees. That's the coldest game ever played in this ballpark. The wind chill, not a huge factor, makes it feel like it's about 26. The 0-1 down and in. John Jay 2 for 7 with a run scored so far in the series. And a slicer foul out of play down the left. He made, as you said yesterday, the play of the game for the Royals when he took at least a double away from Jason Kipnis late in the ballgame.
Yes, he certainly did. I'll tell you, that was a play that, you know, when you're not doing much and you make a defensive play like that back in the 7th inning, that's a heck of a play.
Pitch from Clevenger misses outside, and it's 2-2.
Excuse me, that was the 8th inning. No, it was the 6th.
6th, 7th, 8th.
Hey, who's counting?
Here's the 2-2. Up and away and a full count.
As we witnessed in the first 2 games, you know, when pitchers go out there, it takes them a little while to get acclimated and get a feel for the mound and the conditions.
Just missed outside with his fastball, and it results in a leadoff walk.
Batting second for Kansas City, number 15, the first baseman Whit Merrifield.
Indians also played a game that you were part of back in April of 1979 in the old stadium, in which it was 32 degrees.
Yeah, that doesn't happen often, but when it does, it's not a lot of fun.
Now Whit Merrifield. Merrifield had a double on Friday in the home opener for Kansas City, in which the Royals jumped out to a quick 2-0 lead. But the Indians returned the favor with 3 in the bottom of the first, and that was all the scoring for the game. Yesterday, only 1 run total on the solo homer by Lucas Duda for the Royals. Low throw dug out nicely by Yonder Alonso at first base.
Well, you have to be ready. Clevenger, quick feet. Nice backhanded play there. Alonso picked it nicely. He's got the glasses on too.
The flips.
Those keep the eyes warm.
The flip downs. Don't see many guys use those anymore.
Those are flip downs that he had on.
There's a fly ball to right field. Naquin drifting back. He's under it and makes the catch. Storylines today brought to you by Wayside Furniture. The fastball could be the weapon in cold weather. That's what we've seen so far in the series. Use your fastball, attack the hitters, make them put the ball in play. They haven't been able to do it very often, or very well for that matter. And for the Indians, boy, try and take advantage of any scoring opportunities. It's been a struggle for the Tribe offensively. And for Kansas City as well. Moustakas looks at a ball down and in. Mike Moustakas 0 for 7 in the series. It was a strange offseason for Moustakas, who went into free agency looking to really strike the mother lode, looking for some kind of a big bonanza payday. It just never materialized. The teams that were would-be suitors found other options, and it left Moustakas really with nowhere to go but back to Kansas City. And so even after setting the single season home run record for the Royals, he had to settle on a one-year deal to go back to the Royals.
Well, and the thing of it is, you know, you always talk about timing. Timing's the key to life. Well, this year wasn't a great time to become a free agent, I don't think.
Because of all the big names that are coming out
next year and just the way the situation turned out.
Now the 1-1. Broken bat bouncer towards first. Alonso with a great backhanded play. Goes to Frankie for one. Back to first. It's an inning-ending double play. Nicely turned on this frosty day. As Alonso goes to Lindor. Back to Clevenger covering, and the inning is over.
Pitcher for the Kansas City Royals. He's 0-1 in his first start. That coming against Detroit. He went 5 innings, 7 hits, 5 runs. 5 of the, I mean, he had a big inning in the 4th inning. He gave up 5 runs, so that hurt him in that ball game.
Here's the lineup for Terry Francona, brought to you by Progressive. Frankie Lindor leads it off. Jason Kipnis bats second. Jose Ramirez will hit third. Then it's Michael Brantley in the cleanup spot today. Edwin will hit 5th. Yonder Alonso drops down to the 6th spot. Then you've got Yan Gomes, Tyler Naquin, and Bradley Zimmer. Tito doing a little tinkering, trying to get this offense out of its early season funk as Lindor fouls the first pitch straight back.
Well, I like that aggressiveness right there. He got a fastball to his liking, and he got after it and just fouled it off. No spotting pitches today. You see something you like, get after it.
Now the 0-1. Might have helped him there, just above the top of the zone. 0-2.
That's the one thing that Ian Kennedy did so well yesterday, and he was throwing about 90, 91, you know, in that area. He elevated the fastball to a lot of the Indians hitters. He moved it up and down, mixed in his changeup, and threw a breaking ball in there as well. So see if Hamill follows suit.
That one way up out of the zone.
Hamill, a guy, made 5 starts against the Indians last year. He was 3-2. In his career, he's 3-5.
Bounced it in there. Cam Gallagher behind the plate today for Kansas City. Drew Butera starting the first 2 games. Sal Perez on the DL, so Royals need some production from the guys who normally don't get a lot of playing time, because Perez, when he's healthy, he catches every single day.
He's an animal. You're right.
2-2. Popped in the air to center, and Gordon drifting back, fighting the sun, makes the catch, and that carried quite a distance. We have not seen the ball travel at all, especially on balls hit the center field.
Yeah,
the center fielder has barely had to move on most of the balls hit right at him.
If anything, you're right. If anything, they broke in. I mean, he's going to play it off to the side. Look, he's looking into the sun. He has the glasses down. Now he puts his bare hand up. Give me a little shade. just to make sure it doesn't get into the sun. Right now, pretty tough. And the first 2 games were started at 4 o'clock, so the sun was over a little bit more than what it is now. It's probably directly behind home plate.
Well, here's Jason Kipnis. 3 on the right side of the infield for the Royals, and the pitch is low, ball 1.
Yeah, if there was anything that happened yesterday in the ball game, it was in that 6th inning where Kipnis hit a ball and John Jay in left field really made the play of the game to keep it intact.
The 1-0 is fouled straight back. This was the play we're referring to. Kipnis really squared it up, line drive, and on a tough day, Jay made a really nice play.
Yeah, that was after Kipnis. Boy, you figure 2nd and 3rd there at least, but did not happen. Sometimes when you're in a defensive struggle or a well-pitched ball game like yesterday, a defensive play can turn the whole thing around, and I think that really did yesterday.
Strike 3 called on a slow breaking ball. 2 down. The rest of the Royals defense looks like this.
It'll be John Jay in left field, Alex Gordon in center. Jorge Soler is over and right. At third base, Mike Moustakas. Alcides Escobar is at short. Ryan Goins gets the start again at second base, but look who's at first, Whit Merrifield. He's played 3 different positions in the series. Cam Gallagher behind the plate doing the catching.
Yeah, Whit's where's Waldo for Kansas City.
Yeah, second, right. They keep him on the right side of the diamond, though.
Jose Ramirez takes a pitch down and in, ball 1. Ramirez 1 out of 7 in the series with an RBI and a run scored. Royals continue to shift. About the only guy they won't shift for is the guy on deck, Michael Brantley. Everybody else they have moved drastically. Now the 1-1. And the 2-1 offering is up and away. 3 balls and a strike.
Sometimes when you get that first at bat and Ramirez just 2 for 30, you like to see a number of pitches, and right now he could take a couple pitches just to get another good look at it with a 3-0 count.
That's low, and it's ball 4. So Ramirez is aboard with 2 down, and it will give Michael Brantley a chance to bat here in the first inning. And we'll take a look at our stat of the game, brought to you by Buick. The Indians in a funk offensively to start the year. Look, there's no reason to, to beat a dead horse in this instance, because it is a small sample. It's still early. As Jensen and I were talking about on Indians Live, April is overreaction month. Everybody jumps to conclusions too early in the season.
But you still have to talk about it.
But the numbers are what they are, and so far through 8 games, the Indians are dead last in the league in batting average. They're 28th in runs per game. Only the Royals and Tampa Bay are averaging fewer runs per game than the 3 that Cleveland has put up. They're 8 for 42 with runners in scoring position, which is below 200. So they just haven't been able to put anything together offensively to this point. And a ground ball single into right field by Michael Brantley. That'll send Ramirez all the way to third base. And Michael Brantley with his second hit, activated for the home opener on Friday. Got a big 2-run single in that game, and now a base hit here.
Well, gets a fastball down and in on the first pitch, and he finds the hole, and there is no shift with Brantley, and that's your typical base hit right there with a left-handed hitter. Enables Ramirez to go to third base with 2 outs, so they have runners at first and third, and it'll give Edwin an opportunity.
Now with Encarnacion, the Royals don't employ a shift but Escobar is pulled over more towards the hole on the left side of the infield, and Moustakas closer to the line. And Edwin takes in for a strike. Encarnacion has batted .286 so far this year against right-handed pitching. Up with a good fastball there.
That's been one of the problems for the Indians offenses against right-handed pitching. You talk about as a team, they're hitting just 149 coming into today, and with all the left-handers that you have on this team, you think it would be much better than that.
Almost hit him. Just did get out of the way of that pitch. It was grazed. It was really bearing in on his forearm.
We saw that he's been hit twice this year. I think once in Seattle and once in LA, and they try to pitch him in there to not let him extend the arms. When you get to 2 strikes, they're going to run it inside on him.
Struck him out, and the side is retired. No runs a hit, 2 left. We've played an inning, no score in Cleveland.
He gets rid of the ball. Perfect throw back to Lindor. 0.6 seconds on the exchange. I'll tell you what, that was a beautifully turned double play. And Clevenger over there in plenty of time with room to spare, and that's hard to do when you get a 3-6-1 double play.
Lucas Duda, leading off the second inning, takes a strike. And a soft line drive into right field, a base hit. He beats the shift with perfect placement.
Duda had the hit yesterday that gave the Royals the win. That was a solo home run. That was his second. And they only have 2 home runs in a team as a team, and Duda has both of them. So he has 7 of the 15 runs they have scored. He has driven in. So he gets on first with a base hit.
Jorge Soler 0 for 3 in the series. That was in the opener on Friday. 0 for 11 to start the year. And he shoots one through the right side of the infield for a base hit. Duda stops at second, and the Royals are rolling here in inning number 2.
Well, that's, I think, what Kansas City wants to see Soler do is stay on the baseball and take it the other way. Take what's given. That was a fastball sort of coming in a little bit. He didn't try to pull it. He stayed on it, and boy, finds the hole. That's a pretty swing right there by the right-hander. So they come back and they go back-to-back singles.
Brings Ryan Goins to the plate. Ramirez in on the grass near the line at third. He squares, and he jabbed at it, got a piece of it for a foul ball.
Yeah, not a very good attempt right there by Goins. If he's going to sacrifice, you know, he didn't square around. As you mentioned, he just jabbed at it. And there's no way. That's a very difficult way to put the ball in fair territory or bunt it. You can see Alonso cheating in at first. Ramirez cheating in at third. Not good speed on the bases, at least second with Duda.
Going squared, pulled it back. The throw not in time down at second base. And a count, 1 ball, 1 strike. Tried to bunt again, and again, not a good effort, and it's fouled back.
It's like almost it's like a running bunt. I don't think Ned could be happy with that. If he put it on, I'm thinking Goins is probably doing that. What? It's almost impossible to bunt the ball in fair territory when the bat is behind home plate.
Well, that wasn't a good pitch to bunt. It was almost like he was reaching across to the other batter's box to get to it.
Well, that's what you have to do. First, get a pitch, a good one to bunt, and then second, get the barrel of the bat in fair territory.
Now the 1-2 pitch is just a bit outside. 2-2.
He's going to throw a changeup here in this situation, and that ball is away. It goes down. It's a good pitch. He didn't offer at it. So he lives for another pitch.
And Goins just hacked at it, got a little piece of it.
Yeah, got more of a piece of Gomes. It deflected a high up over the screen. That's who it hit.
Now rolls back down the screen and gets caught right at the top of the netting.
We're going to save some of these ball boys some work, because that netting caught about a half a dozen, 7 or 8 balls yesterday before it got back into play.
2 on, nobody out. 2-2 to Ryan Goins. Man, missed away with a fastball, full count.
Well, this is what Mike Clevenger cannot do. Don't start nibbling when you get ahead in the count. You have to stay aggressive. When he stays aggressive, he certainly has the stuff to put hitters away. That changeup just missed away. The fastball's just off the plate. You have them down on the count. You have to be aggressive.
Cleve checks the runner at second. Payoff pitch. Chopped right up the middle. Kipnis is there to Lindor for 1 on to first. It's a double play. Duda goes to third, but second inning in a row, Clevenger gets a pitcher's best friend, a twin killer.
And I don't think Ned Yost will be happy with that at bat, even though it went to 3-2, with the way that Goins offered it the bunt and then hits into a double play. They had a pretty good start to that inning. But he makes his pitch, comes back at a full count, gets the 2-for-1 ball.
And it brings up Alcides Escobar. He's only 1 for 7 in the series, but this guy can be a tough out, because he uses the whole field. He'll slap it the other way. Pops this one up. And yonder Alonso in foul territory makes the catch. Clevenger gets out of it. And we're scoreless, middle of the second. Welcome to those in countries around the world and aboard naval ships at sea. Thank you for your service.
Yes, indeed. Welcome on a beautiful 80-degree sunny day here in Cleveland.
It will be eventually.
We hope you're enjoying the same.
32 degrees at game time. If you just tuned in, coldest game in the 25-year history of Progressive Field. Yonder Alonso fouls one back out of play.
I almost gave it away.
Yonder celebrating his 31st birthday this afternoon. Yesterday, his teammates had a mariachi band come in to the clubhouse and serenade him. Jason Hamill, the 0-1. And Alonso with a towering fly ball to right field. Soler makes the catch, 1 down. Let's go down to Andre Knott.
You know, we talked on Friday about Yonder Alonso coming here and having the ball that was hit to left field wall and not going out, and just the mindset. And he said after talking to Tito and a couple other guys, he had to tell himself yesterday, if I show up, I do all my work during the day, and I can barrel up a couple balls each day, I'm doing my job. I can't get down on myself looking at my batting average. And he said he's just going to have to keep that mindset until the weather gets a little warmer and the ball goes out of the ballpark for him.
Yeah, no question about that, Andre. You forget the scoreboard. You just go up there and get your work in and put up at-bats, and that's hard to do. Now, you may have to do it through the month of April here, waiting for that weather to get warm. Or you may have to go up to Memorial Day. You never know. But the thing of it is, if you're not hitting, you play defense. He's played very well over at first base, as the Indians have as a team. They played outstanding defense. Made their first error yesterday, and it was one from Perez on a stolen base. But
1 ball, 1 strike. Yeah, the Indians 7-game streak to start the season without an error. It was the longest streak in club history. Start of season, Gomes shoots one up the gut, but with that shift on, Ryan Goins throws him out.
Well, watch every out-of-market regular season game live at home or on the go with MLB TV. Your subscription includes MLB At Bat Premium, allowing you to watch baseball on all your favorite supported devices. Blackouts and other restrictions apply.
Tyler Naquin called back from AAA Columbus, with Lonnie Chisenhall going back on the disabled list. Lonnie still bothered by a right calf injury that hampered him for a chunk of last season, and it flared up again yesterday. Early in the game, he was taken out in the 2nd inning, placed on the disabled list today. And so Tyler Naquin back for the foreseeable future, because they're talking anywhere from maybe a month. Hopefully it's not that long, but month could be month and a half. The thing you worry about as the 1-0 pitch misses up and away is that regardless of what the timetable is for the return, this is a recurring injury for him. So you just wonder.
Yeah, he missed time last year, about 7 weeks of it, because of that same injury. So it is a concern.
Yeah, how do you get it healed up to the point where it's not going to come back and
good question.
Bite you again?
Good question.
Tyler Naquin takes a strike. It's 2-1. He went 1 for 4 against the Angels with a big home run in that series. And Hamill able to power it by him. Two balls and 2 strikes. And Naquin just slaps at it, chops it to third. Moustakas, very good fielder, able to make the play. The Indians go in order, and we have no score after 2. Stadium should be where you make it. Third inning, Alex Gordon, Cam Gallagher, and John Jay for the Royals. Indians employ a big shift with Kipnis out there on the outfield grass, similar to the same shift they had for Lucas Duda when he still beat that shift with a perfectly placed line drive. Two balls, no strikes. And now it's 3-0. There's a called strike. And a foul straight back.
Well, coming back from a 3-0 count, certainly want to get the leadoff hitter when you're down at the bottom of the lineup.
Swung on and missed. Clevenger comes back from 3-0 to strike out Gordon. His first K this afternoon, 1 down.
Came back all the way with a very nice changeup going down and away. Watch how Gordon is out front. That ball was a ball, but he went after it. So Clevenger gets his first strikeout. You can see the grip on that changeup and the movement that it has.
Pitch is outside. Slowly tapped towards third. Ramirez waits back on him, but with the catcher running, he can take his time. And there are 2 gone. Injury report today brought to you by the attorneys at Elk and Elk. Mentioned the injury to Lonnie Chisenhall and their subsequent roster move to get Tyler Naquin up here, and let's see if Andre has any more to add to it.
This is twofold, Matt. You talked about Lonnie and just this injury and the concern. Tito and the guys were hoping it was scar tissue. They were hoping that because of the injury last year, it was some scar tissue that was broken up. So there is some concern going forward on how long this is going to be a problem for him. But for Tyler Naquin, he's basically been told, this is your opportunity. Get it, run with it, and take it. You're going to get some at-bats. Make the most of it. He was unhappy that he was, went back to Columbus. Take advantage.
Right. Well, yeah, the opportunity presents itself, and you don't get many opportunities. His first one was the year when Michael was started the year on the DL, and now he's right back again. Now, is there any time frame on Lonnie?
Well, Matt said about 4 to 6 weeks. They're hoping it's not 6 weeks, but I mean, we found out last year in the second half of the season that happened right before the All-Star break, and he didn't come back until September, basically, and it bothered him through the playoffs.
Right.
Other than Gio Urshela, they hope will start playing games as he's dealing with that hamstring injury. Hopes to start playing games for Columbus next week.
Up high, 3-1 now for John Jay. Thanks, Andre, for that update. Clevenger looking for his first 1-2-3 inning. But he's not going to get it. Jay walks for the second time today. And it brings up Whit Merrifield.
For Kansas City, the first baseman, Whit Merrifield.
Lined up the gut, and that's through for a base hit. Third hit today for Kansas City. And they've got 2 on with 2 out now from Mike Moustakas.
Now approaching the plate for Kansas
Player
City.
profile brought to you by Levin Furniture. Moustakas, 38 homers last year, set the Royals club record. Signed a 1-year deal to return to Kansas City. He was a 2nd overall pick in the draft back in '07. And he lines one into center field. That's a base hit. Jay's coming around third. Going to wave him home. Zimmer's throw to the plate in plenty of time, and they got him. Oh, what a perfect throw by Zimmer on the fly right to the catcher Gomes. And the inning is over. You don't run on that arm, folks.
Didn't rush it. I mean, he made a perfect throw, 88 miles an hour, and I didn't see the distance on it, but I'll tell you what, it wasn't deep shot. It was 133 feet, and it was a perfect throw to get a good runner in John Jay, and that saves a run. And you know, that's the one thing you love about him. With 2 outs, he didn't have to hit the cutoff man, but he made a perfect throw. 233 feet. Okay.
Zimmer has picked up a hit in back-to-back games. And there's a fastball generously called a strike. Low. 1 ball, 2 strikes. High fastball with movement strikes him out. 3rd K for Hamill, 1 down here in the inning.
Well, you can still get a prorated Tribe season ticket package for the best seats at the best prices. You'll save big over single game prices and get exclusive perks. See Indians.com for more details.
Top of the order, Francisco Lindor. Big overhand hook, and it drops into the bottom part of the strike zone. Now he's in the hole, 0-2.
Got to note we have a couple of fans from Phoenix, Arizona watching the ball game today. Taylor and Samantha Seacrest tuning in, watching the Tribe play.
All right. Down low. A couple of birthday wishes too. Brody Laird, 9 years old in Medina. Happy birthday, Brody. And Mark Cesar Spada, 26 years old from North Royalton.
Happy birthday to you both.
Now the 1-2 on its way to Lindor. And a slow breaking ball in the dirt. Mike Wright got the start for Baltimore today. Didn't make it out of the first inning. Yankees scored 5 runs in the bottom of the first. They lead the Orioles 5-1 now in the second. Tampa Bay's in Boston. Rays trying to stop a 7-game skid. Boston trying to win their 8th in a row. Lindor got a piece, stays alive.
So far today, Hamill doing a nice job getting ahead of the hitters. He's been ahead of 5 hitters. 0-2, 1-2. He's got up the 1 base hit. That was to Michael Brantley first time through, and that came on the first pitch.
And a little bit low.
Nice take. Come with a 4-seam fastball, and you're going to see it's just below the strike zone. See if he elevates one here.
Broke his bat. And a routine play for going is 2 down. When you ride with the Indians in Velosano, your registration is free. You get an Indian cycling jersey, and 100% of the money raised supports cancer research at Cleveland Clinic. Visit velosano.org/Indians for details on joining their team. 2 down to bring up Jason Kipnis, called out on strikes. His first time up. In the dirt, ball 1. Jason blasts one to deep center. Back is Gordon on the track, just shy of the wall, making the catch. 1, 2, 3 go the Indians.
BS that we have only a certain amount of time in between innings. It's hard to get loose sometimes, especially in conditions like that. It's not safe, and but whatever. Every inning you basically start off not loose. I told the umpire today one time, he was trying to tell me to speed up, and I was like, look, I'll take the fine if I need to, but I'm not going to put myself at risk, and I'm not going to put the team at risk of me having exactly what happened. Throw a pitch that you're not ready to compete on because you're still trying to get loose, and then it gets hit over the fence and we lose because of it. Not because of it, but as a contributing factor.
Well, you know what? He's going to show his emotions. He's going to tell you the truth. And that's one thing you have to do. I mean, because the hitters come into the box or should be in the box with 20 seconds left. So if you're a pitcher and you need to throw, you've got to hurry up and get out there, and you've got to make sure that catcher's going to be back there. And you know what? In the conditions like they're playing in, I have a tendency, I agree with him.
I think if there's ever a case where an umpire should give you a little leeway, it's when you got conditions like this.
Yeah, but you know what? I don't want to put it on the umpires, because I think every baseball puts everything on the umpires. Well, they're in charge of it.
Tito said that. Tito said he tried to put himself in the shoes of everyone involved. He understands where Trevor's coming from. He goes, but the umpire has a job that he has to do. Now, one point for Trevor, he threw 35 four-seamers yesterday. You know the slowest one he threw? The one to Duda.
Well, there it is. Okay.
So, I mean,
hey,
like you said,
if we've learned anything about Trevor Bauer, he's not the kind of guy who's going to go out there and say something because he needs to make an excuse.
That's not an excuse.
You're exactly
not his way.
I agree.
But that one other thing, he said Tito said this morning. If he needs more warm-ups, get out there as soon as you can.
That's right. You got to get out.
We'll get a catcher out there. We'll get someone out there. Get out there if you feel like you need more throws.
I agree too. And it wasn't what was it? A 91-mile-an-hour fastball.
It was 90 and a half, 91 miles an hour.
Okay. Excuse me, 90 and a half. You have the gun down there.
If we're working with Trevor Bauer, I want to be dead on. Trust me.
90.5.
90.5.
Yes.
Okay.
That's what he told me, and I'm sticking to it.
Okay. You're going to be going out to that school in Seattle soon.
I'm not that smart.
Well, we know that, but you're going to be going.
I'm bringing you
The 1-2 is swung on and missed. Clevenger with a good pitch, making Duda reach for it. Second strikeout of the afternoon, one down here in the fourth.
And both the strikeouts have come on the changeup, and the changeup has been out of the strike zone both times, but he has been able to get the guy to chase the baseball with 2 strikes. So, again, if he can get aggressive and get ahead in the count, that changeup will be more effective for him. But it's been there twice today for strikeouts.
Jorge Soler taking a strike.
He had a very good first at bat with a man on first, taking that ball in the hole between first and second.
Now he has to do it the hard way in the hole. 0-2. Oh, that one just took off on him.
It sure did.
Gomes wanted it at the top of the strike zone, and again, we've seen at times it's tough sometimes for pitchers to really hit that target. They either miss down in the heart of the plate where you don't want it. There's a ball blooped towards center. Zimmer racing in, can't get to it.
No, that was just that was a little sand wedge, man, that he knocked down. There was no way you can get to that ball. It's off the end of the bat. It was a good pitch. He puts the ball in play, and I knew the infielder was going to have to get it because Zimmer was not going to be able to get there, and he had a good jump on it.
Ryan Goins, he grounded into a double play in the second inning. And that was a key early moment in this game, especially with runs truly being at a premium in this series. The Royals got back-to-back base hits to open the second inning. And then Goins was trying to sacrifice the runners both in the scoring position. He failed miserably on the bunt attempts and then grounded into a double play. And that enabled Clevenger to get out of the inning without allowing a run. takes. It's a little below 1-1. Mike Jerschley coaching at third base. Royals really changed up their coaching staff in the offseason. 1-1 pitch. Cal Eldred is the new pitching coach. Terry Bradshaw is the new hitting coach. Not that Terry Bradshaw. Vance Wilson is the bullpen coach. Dale Swaim was the hitting coach. He's now the bench coach.
Tough time finding that outside corner with his fastball. Just keeps running off the plate. The fans are yelling, I can hear, at the umpire, but you have to make an adjustment. That thing's running off the plate.
You see the steam coming out of the ground in front of home plate. 3-1 pitch. Fouled right back. Full count. Well, he challenged him that time. And it almost goes back to what we heard Gomes say the other day to Carrasco. You know what? Hey, just come right at it.
Let's go. Throw the fastball
right
and make him hit it out. I mean, the ball's not carrying. I want to see if Ned Yost sends him. I would say, why not? You just have to hope that he's going to throw the fastball. And it's not a changeup, and he doesn't swing if it's a ball.
Oh, another great play at first by Yonder Alonso to keep that ball from going by him.
Yeah, Clevenger, that's the second time he's made the quick throw to first, and both of them have short hopped it. He had him going, and he almost got picked off. So this will shorten the lead, and I wonder if he's going to take it off. He was going to be running on that pitch, no question.
So there goes. 3-2 swing and a miss. Throw down. It's a strike him out. Throw him out. Double play. No score. Middle of the fourth. Times in the first 4 innings.
Boy, you have to love that if you're a pitcher in the defense. That was a nice 4-6-3, and then to strike him out, throw him out. And you know what? In a game like this, and with the way it's going like that, you have to start your runner. I don't blame him for that. You're expecting the hitter to put it in play. So Goins has been part of 2 of them out of those 3.
And of course, last inning, the 3rd inning ended with a terrific throw from Bradley Zimmer to home plate to cut down a run. Jose Ramirez leads off the bottom of the 4th, takes low, ball 1.
Well, defense, pitching and defense always keeps you in ball games. But now you have to find a way to score. The Indians, again, just one hit now through the first 3 innings.
One and one to count on Ramirez, who drew a walk in the first. Swinging a foul tip. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Bounced in front of the plate. Jason Hamill, he's a guy that occasionally it can just kind of get away from him in a hurry. That's what happened in his start against the Tigers. He allowed 6 of 9 batters to reach in the Tigers' 4-run 5th inning. Ramirez cranks one high in the air to right center field, but again, ball just not carrying. 1 away.
Well, you're going to see a catcher, Gomes, getting rid of that ball to second base in just about 2 seconds. And you know, when you go 2-6-3, that's really well done. Anytime you can do that within 2 seconds as a catcher, and if you have that pitcher that gives you an opportunity, you know, less than 4 seconds, a guy stealing a base. If he's not a base stealer, he probably will not get there. So that's why you're able to do that. Catch it, throw it, get a double play. Strike him out, throw him out.
Brantley slowly taps one to second. 2 down. And that was an instance, Rick, as you pointed out at the time. That's not a case where Netjos is looking for Soler to steal a base.
Not at all.
He's banking on Goins putting the ball in play and maybe creating a hole with
Not
the guy
swinging
running
through it. Absolutely right. You're expecting your guy to put it in play. That's what you're banking on. And you know, you have to do that. You have to create something that happens instead of getting 2 or 3 hits in a row. But we haven't seen it all series long between these 2 teams. Kansas City, Cleveland, and Tampa are the only 3 teams in baseball that do not have 10 hits in a ball game yet. So you got to make something happen.
Kansas City is halfway there. They do have 5 hits on the board so far this afternoon. The Indians just the 1, and that was in the first inning. 9 in a row retired by Jason Hamill.
Well, yeah, you look back at this series, the Indians
to third, and that's 10 straight for the Royals right-hander. 4 in the books, no score in Cleveland. 2018 Kia Sorento, the perfect getaway vehicle. Visit KiaDealers.com to learn more. And by Levin Furniture. For the best deals on furniture and mattresses, shop Levin's. Mike Clevenger goes to work here in the 5th inning. Through 4, he's made 52 pitches, 6 outs recorded on 3 pitches or less. So he's done a pretty good job. The weird thing is that the Royals are swinging the bats pretty well against him. They do have 5 hits, but hey, the defense has played well behind him. 3 double plays. Great throw from Zimmer in center field.
Well, this Royals team is we know, and I think a lot of people know, they're a very aggressive swinging team. They like to swing early in the count. They're not a team that likes to walk a lot, never have been. So if you throw strikes, they're going to get after you early. And they can get hits, but the defense has been there. Clevenger's made his pitches when he has had to. Beautiful throw by Bradley Zimmer from center field to end the inning.
The old Graybeards start this inning off for Kansas City. Alcides Escobar, over 8 years big league service time, and the on-deck man Alex Gordon has to be the longest tenured Royal. He made his major league debut in Kansas City back in 2007
as a third baseman.
Right. But for Ned Yost, you know, it's a challenge for a guy who was at the top of the baseball mountain just a few years ago as the world champion. Squib back to Clevenger. Underhand flip going down. And I think one of the reasons that Ned Yost might be somewhat energized with the influx of new talent, some of the young players, is the fact that when you experience what he did in the offseason, it opens your eyes and maybe gives you a little better appreciation for everyday life. He was working on his property down in Georgia, and he was basically just doing some routine maintenance on his tree stands that he uses for hunting and when guests come on his property to do some hunting. And one of those tree stands gave way from underneath him, and he said it was like the hangman's gallows. He said the bottom just went out from under me, and he fell about 20 feet as Gordon lines a single into left field. And when he landed on the ground, he said, I was in serious pain right away. And what he didn't know at the time was that he had suffered a fractured, really a crushed pelvis. He said, I could wiggle my toes, I could move my fingers, but he said I couldn't move other than that, and I was in a lot of pain. He said, luckily, and as he reflected back on it, I had my cell phone with me. And he said, I can't tell you how many other times I'd be up in one of those tree stands going, boy, I don't have my cell phone with me. Yeah. How dumb is that? Because if something happens, well, here was that case. Something had happened. He was able to call his wife, who had just left. She was on her way to one of their relatives' weddings. She turned around and came back. They called 911. They got him to the hospital. Now he's thinking, I'm in a lot of pain, but I'm just thinking I broke something. Not realizing until after the ordeal was over and the trauma surgeon talked to him the next day, how close he had come to losing his life. He had lost 8 units of blood and nearly bled to death because they couldn't get the bleeding to stop. Ramirez goes to second. There's one on to first. This time they just missed, turning another double play.
Tell you what, a heck of a try. Really was. Ramirez was aggressive getting that ball over to Kip, and Kip on the turn. They just beat it out. Really nice effort on both ends right there. Kip just turns it, just not in time as Gallagher beats it out.
But the trauma surgeon told Ned Yost that
scary.
25 to 30% of the people who suffer that kind of an injury don't make it. So that's how close it was. And if he hadn't had his cell phone, and you know, we all do those things in life where, boy, if I hadn't have done this or if I hadn't have been there. Luckily, the outcome is what it was. And
yeah,
he's back managing the Royals. But you know, he had a fun, lighthearted moment with the Kansas City media this spring training. He was reflecting back on his days in Atlanta. He said, I remember walking by Greg Maddux one day, and Maddux is looking in the mirror, and he just said to nobody in particular, I'm just glad I'm me. And Ned Yost said, that's the way I feel right now. Zimmer back on the track at the wall, can't get there. He jams into the wall awkwardly. Ball hit the base of the wall, and around third, Cam Gallagher's going to score, and into third with an RBI triple is John Jay. And now we'll check on Zimmer. Kind of jammed into that wall awkwardly.
Well, I'll tell you, this ball is hammered, and it's a breaking ball. and he runs back and he does a face plant right into the wall, but he was trying to make the catch and he couldn't brace himself. He wasn't able to get his arms out in front, and I think he hit his face on the wall. There it was, his head. And I'll tell you what, that's going to knock him silly. He couldn't put an arm up, and I know he went in there awfully hard, and that wall is not soft. That knee went first, then his head went in, and they're going to have to look at him because I'm sure he's shaking up a little bit. He's got the glasses on, and you know all that, the clothing, the headgear, but he may need a moment.
It was an all-out effort. That's the way Zimmer plays the game.
Yeah.
We've seen it so many times before.
It was just awkward because he just missed the ball as it went over his glove, and then he realized the wall's there. He thought he was going to catch that ball. Right now, I think he thinks he's bleeding, but he's seeing birds flying around his head right now.
Now Kansas City on the board first here today with a run in the 5th now, with 2 down in the inning. As the Indians, Jeff Desjardins, an athletic trainer out there with Tito, checking on Zimmer to see if he's okay to continue.
You know, that goes to show you the hitter before how close it is, almost turning the double play. The next guy hits one over his head, and he's just sitting there shaking his head. No, I think I'm going to be all right. Tito's just sitting there listening, because if he's got to come out of the game, then probably what, Davis goes into center field.
Yeah. And it looks like he's going to stay in there for now.
Yeah, he'll have a few more seconds. Watch the timing, just over his glove, and then here comes the wall, and his knee, boom. He really didn't have any time to slow down. He was on a dead run, and he smashes into that wall. He's going to feel this, I guarantee you, tomorrow, as well as right now. And that was pretty flush, going right at the 400-foot sign. He'll be up 4th next inning, but they'll be checking him out as soon as he gets into that dugout.
In the meantime, Kansas City strikes first on the play, and Whit Merrifield will be the batter. You could tell immediately by the reaction from Clevenger that on a normal day, that's a home run. But these first few days here at Progressive Field are far from anything but normal. Breaking ball in there for a strike. In off the plate, 1-1. Down low, 2 balls and a strike. Got in on him, popped him up. Gomes and Alonso to the dugout. No.
Landed right on that fan's lap. I don't think they had to move. Just look at, he's
room
sitting right
service
there.
delivery.
I'll tell you what, you could. Yes, indeed. It landed right in his lap, and he didn't have to move, and he's going home with a ball, a souvenir.
High pitch, and another full count. 40 out of 67 pitches today from Clevenger have been strikes. tapped foul. We'll try it again at 3-2. Sunday afternoon crowd trying to clap their hands, just get a little blood moving. And the 3-2 on its way. And another foul. Merrifield hanging in there.
Yeah, this is one tough out.
This will be the 70th pitch of the game for Clevenger and the 8th pitch of this at bat for Merrifield.
And Merrifield, the reason why he is a tough out, he tries to hit the fastball the other way. If you slow it down for him, he can turn on it, and you make a mistake, you're going to have to make a quality pitch to get him. Looks like it might be a changeup.
Pulls that foul. Clevenger's been cruising along for the most part, thanks in part to those double play
Yes,
balls.
I was going to say, you can see the pitch count is at 70, but the double play balls have certainly helped.
Oh, he went too far and strikes out. That's 4 Ks for Clevenger. But the Royals get the first run of the game. 1-0 halfway through.
The hottest promotions of the season. That includes dollar dog nights, fireworks, and select giveaways. Go to Indians.com to purchase yours today.
Yeah, blankets, hoodies, sweatshirts, gloves, you name it. Everything out in full force today. Yonder Alonso leading off the bottom of the 5th. Indians down 1-0. Way up high.
This was the inning that he imploded in his last start against Detroit. Was the 5th inning where you mentioned that 6 of 9 guys reached.
And we've also reached that point in the game now that, hey, for whatever reason, this has been when the Indians offense really has had their troubles. If you think it's been bad overall, from the 5th inning on, they've scored a total of 5 runs in their first 8 games. And the team batting average is just 117 from the 5th inning on.
Ouch. Well, get that leadoff man aboard, and you never know what happens. Heading to the bottom part of the lineup. Anxious to see Zimmer. He's due up 4th in this inning after that collision with the wall. I see him walking down in the dugout. Nice.
And a base hit into left field by Alonso, who beats the shift.
What do you know? Look at that. They had 3 over on the right side. They had Moustakas way over at shortstop, and Alonso hits the ball between short and third and gets himself a base hit. The second hit, and again, there it was. It was a high fastball away. He stayed on it, and that ball being up certainly helped him take it the other way, and there's a base knock.
On a day like this, or when you have days like this early in the season, when we've already seen with our own eyes, and these guys have felt it, you can't hit the ball out of here on your best bolt. Why not just shorten up and take it if they're going to shift around like that?
Line drive strokes. I think that's one of the issues here. A lot of the Indians hitters are trying to do too much. You get to deep into the counts, and you know they're swinging at all 3-2 pitches. They want to hit their way out of their slump. They don't want to, walk their way or be patient and take what is given. And you know what? There's going to come that point in time where they'll realize that. And let's hope it starts right now.
Gomes chops one right into the teeth of the shift. And it won't be a double play because Goins, with the shift on it, actually hurt him trying to turn the double play. He had nobody to flip it to. He was the flip guy.
Well, that's sometimes the problem when you make a shift. You got to understand that sometimes it's tough. You're not going to have to do it, and you've got to anticipate that if it's hit to you, he's going to have to run and touch second and get it. Let's see where the ball's hit. He had to see. He was waiting. He hesitated. He thought Escobar was going to go over and get that ball, and he was going to go to second base. So in his hesitation, he ended up costing a double play. So I think the Indians catch a break there. That was a double play ball where if he breaks originally, gets it, steps on second, he could throw to first and get the double play.
I would imagine that's what Escobar was telling him. And it's one of those plays where if you're a middle infielder, you've got to read that right off the bat.
You got to anticipate before that ball's hit to you. What's my ball and what do I got to get to it? He sort of waited. Although he's not the everyday second baseman because Merrifield plays there a lot. It's a little different. It's a learning process, I'm sure.
Tyler Naquin grounded out in the second inning. He hit a ball right to Mike Moustakas, the third baseman. And Moustakas is a dynamite defender at third. Missed outside with it. So 60 pitches for Hamill, 35 have been strikes. The base hit by Alonso that started the inning snapped a string of 10 in a row, retired by the right-hander. And now Naquin with a line drive single to left field. So twice in the inning, left-handed hitters have just slapped it the other way.
Take what is given. He went the other way. Stayed on the baseball. Don't try and pull it. Very nice.
Let's send it over to Al Pulaski, who has an in-game update.
All right, Matt, Rick, let's check in with the Yankees and the Orioles. And Baltimore gives up 5 in the first inning. Wright is already out of the game. He only lasted 2/3 of an inning. And Andujar, the 2 RBI base hit. It's now 5-2 New York over Baltimore. Third inning in the Big Apple. Fellas, back to you.
All right, thanks, Al. Tampa Bay's gone ahead of Boston 3-1. They're only in the 4th at Fenway. Tigers have jumped out with a run in the first against Chicago, 1-0. Bradley Zimmer does bat here after he ran into the center field wall face first, and his knee struck that wall awkwardly as well. Good to see him. And good to see John Adams back here at the ballpark, banging away on that drum, trying to drum up some offense here. Zimmer struck out in the third. Three-man shift right side of the infield. And he slaps it the other way, but foul. The Royals have shifted on almost every hitter other than Michael Brantley.
Well, they continue to try to pull a ball on the ground. That's what they're going to do. It shows you in this inning what Alonso and Naquin have done. They would have to change if you start doing that. At least the pattern on how they're going to pitch you. A couple of fastballs away.
Two balls, two strikes. Lindor waiting on deck. Down in the dirt and a full count. He tried to get Zimmer to chase that breaking ball down and in, and that has been a tough pitch for him to lay off of. See what Hamill decides to throw here on the payoff pitch. Fastball outside corner, called third strike. 4 Ks for Hamill. 2 down on the inning.
Well, let's take a look at it. It's going to be that ball running away. It looked like it did. On pitch tracks, it has it on the outside edge at the knees.
That's where he catches
I
his
know.
ball.
Well, it's where that's where he catches it. I understand, but he gets the call. That ball was moving.
Top of the order, Lindor 0 for 2. Smacks it to Escobar. And the Indians are out here in the 5th. 5 home, 1-0 Kansas City. John Jay drilled one to deep center field just beyond the reach of Bradley Zimmer. It went for an RBI triple and is the game's only run. Yesterday was a 1-0 Kansas City victory. Swing and a miss by Mike Moustakas. 1 for 2. Grounded into an inning-ending double play in the first. He had a single back in the third. Players bundled up today. And so are the fans. 17,362 turned out yesterday for a cold day, and those who have paid their way in this afternoon are attending the coldest game in Progressive Field's 25-year history. The official game time temperature was 32 degrees. 1 degree colder than the previous low temperature mark in this ballpark's history. Al Pawlowski mentioned earlier, it feels like January or maybe February. I went back and checked to see what the coldest Browns game on record is for the new stadium. Back in 08, they played the Bengals, and it was 1 degree at kickoff.
Yeah, well, that's
late. December. It was December
right.
21st. Yeah. 1-2 pitch. Squibbed, and Clevenger can't get it, and it's going to be a base hit for Mike Moustakas. How do you like that? His second hit here this afternoon.
Well, once again, that's the shift, and when you hit something like that and it gets by the pitcher, that's all you can do. And once it gets by Clevenger, you know Ramirez is not going to be able to get there. So that goes as another hit. That's 8 now for Kansas City.
Andre, were you there for that game in 08?
That was going to tell you the common denominator must be me, because I worked both of them.
I agree. All right, I agree with that.
I'll take this one. Oh man, it was warmer earlier, but the sun is starting to creep.
Yeah, it's outside of Lucas Duda.
It's starting to feel a little chillier, to say the least.
Well, Lucas Duda with the home run yesterday for the game's only run. Lucas Duda definitely is a hulking presence in the middle of the lineup for Kansas City. He goes 6'4", 255. There's a good pitch in there for a strike, taken all the way, 3-1.
Yeah, he has to fight his way back into this one. You know, you look at the power, and Kansas City, one of the teams that are last in the league in power numbers to begin with. When you lose a guy like Kane, you lose Hosmer, they have to be replaced. And now their power is Moustakas and Duda, and most of them they're left-handed bats.
In the air, center field, shallow. Zimmer puts it away, 1 down. Good job to come back and get him after he was down 3-0. Great clip of the game yesterday, Trevor Bauer. And for the game, Bauer went 8 innings, allowed just that 1 run on 3 hits, walked 2, struck out 8. 15 outs recorded on 3 pitches or less.
That to me is the thing of beauty for Trevor Bauer. You know, when he can get 15 outs on 3 pitches or less, that keeps you in the ball game, man. That's what Kluber does, it seems like, every start. And Carrasco's very good at doing it as well. That's why those guys can pitch deep into ball games.
Jorge Soler's having a good day, 2 hits already.
know, Clevenger today has been better than his first start. He had 97 pitches in his 5 1/3 innings out in Anaheim.
It's interesting how different the two games are, too. He seemed more dominant in that game against the Angels, but he used more pitches. Today, he's been more efficient, but he's had base runners all over the place. Good defense behind him, but
right.
He's doing what every starting pitcher sets out to do. Give your team a chance to win the game. Gomes fires to first. Close. They got him. Picked off is Mike Moustakas, who feels about 3 inches tall as he crawls back to the dugout.
Yeah, you cannot hide when you get picked off first base. They had that plan for a while, and Gomes just sits down on it with a right-handed hitter. There's no path alleyway. There's a clear alleyway for him, and Moustakas couldn't get to the back of the bag. So Gomes does a beautiful job to throw behind the runner. Alonso timed it beautifully. There's the throw, there's the tag, and you are gone.
Yeah, it's a little thing, Rick, but it's worth pointing out that for Yonder Alonso, we've seen in the past, and not to throw anybody, you know, under the bus, so to speak, but you would see Carlos Santana, say, for example, just kind of turn around and slap the tag, but not look. Alonso looked down, saw he could get the tag on the hand, and you get the out. If you just turn around and swipe it down at the bag without really looking, that's when guys do that maneuver where they put the hand in and pull the hand back, and you can get Deke. He lost the ball in right field. Nice job by Tyler Naquin to get there and help out, or excuse me, by Bradley Zimmer, but Tyler Naquin just lost it. I don't know if he lost it late because it looked like he was okay, and then you could just tell right at the end he had no idea where the ball was.
Well, let's take a look. He's got it shaded, and he just never sees it. He never sees it. That ball's up. He's got sunglasses on. He used his glove, and he may have put the glove right over the sun and never saw the ball. And Zimmer did a nice job at least hustling over there, but he never told him in enough time to where he might be able to come out and catch it. That'll go as a double. And it's a Sun double, but it doesn't matter. It's a 2-out. So that pickoff right now paying dividends.
Gives Soler a 3-for-3 day. Here's a ground ball towards Kipnis, and this will get him out of the inning. No harm done. Middle of the 6th, 1-0 Kansas City. Every weekday morning, Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp go head-to-head on the day's hottest sports topics. Undisputed with Skip and Shannon, weekdays 9:30 a.m. to noon, only on FS1. Curveball in there for a strike to Jason Kipnis. Fouled right back.
You know, Kip is his last at bat hit a ball to deep center field. I mean, it went out to, you know, left center, one of the deepest parts, but he has had no luck. Although you got to keep that swing going, man. He knows it.
Jason Kipnis, Jose Ramirez, Michael Brantley here in the home half of the 6th.
See, with Moustakas now, they don't move him over to shortstop with Kip hitting like they did Alonso, where Alonso, that's where he gets a base hit.
Down and in, strikes him out. 5 Ks for Hamill, 1 down in the inning.
At the plate now for the number 11, Jose.
Well, you're going to see there's the shift for him, and that's Moustakas right there. You know, it was only about 85 miles an hour, and the hit probability was 32%. That's with a normal defense, but that defense was shifted over to the other side, so that hit probability is going to go up if you go that way. And he had a pitch to do it.
Jose Ramirez walked in the 1st, fly to center in the 4th. Takes a breaking ball down low. We've heard pitchers say it's a little harder to spin it in this really cold weather, but every pitcher we've seen is not abandoned their breaking ball. Maybe not throwing it as much as they would normally, but they're still flipping them up there, and they're still throwing a lot of them for strikes.
You can't abandon it. I mean, that's part of your game. You've got to go with it. What Kennedy say? It's almost like throwing an ice cube. He felt like, and it's tough getting the grip on the baseball. But you continue. You have to throw all your pitches if you're going to be successful.
Swing and a miss, 2-2.
But the one thing we noticed from game 1 in this series is that a pitcher can afford to go with more fastballs and challenge hitters with it not carrying like it normally does, with the way the chill is in the air. Ball is not carrying in this ballpark. Go with the elements.
Popped him up. This is going to be interesting. Let's see. Gallagher to the
back.
screen, and he overran it. Can't hang on. Bobbled it a couple of times.
That was like a game of flip down there. You see, he went over to the railing, and that ball was coming back later. That wind knocking it and pushing it back in, and he just overruns it. Not an easy play. You're looking up into the sun, and he gets in there. Now he's got a back pedal. It's in the glove, off the shoulder, in the glove, and tips it. So, oh, so close, but they will give that a no play, I would imagine. Not an easy play as a catcher in daylight.
Ripped foul by Jose Ramirez. Cam Gallagher getting his first action in the series here today. And another pop-up. This one playable left field. John Jay. 2 down.
Well, Jason Hamill has gone out there and done pretty much what Ian Kennedy did yesterday. He's mixing in that breaking ball, change-ups, spotting his fastball. He's walked 1, struck out 5. He's only allowed 3 hits. He's been in command, and you know he beat the Indians 3 times last year, if you recall, and it was early in the year when he did it. The Indians came back and got him after the early part of the season.
Here's Michael Brantley. He had a 2-out single in the 1st inning. The Indians have only 3 hits so far here today. The Royals are one hit away from reaching that 10-hit milestone.
Fastball, curveball to get ahead of Brantley. 0-2. Michael swung at the first pitch in his first 2 at-bats. He singled in the first inning, grounded out to second in the 4th.
Mentioned before, you know, it's been cold here in Cleveland, but it's been cold in a lot of places, not including today. So not counting today, there have already been 17 games with a first pitch temperature below 40 degrees. So 1-2 delivery. Now one. Jason Hamill with the 2-2 pitch. Missed outside on a full count. Thing you can't lose sight of, especially if you're the Indians, is that despite the lack of offense, it's a one-run game. Yeah, you're not. You can't get too down despite the fact that the hits just haven't been there.
Well, they're in the games because of the pitching,
yeah,
and the defense. And that's the thing. I mean, thank goodness the pitching has been on track. You know, if it hasn't been, then it would be a lot tougher. But sooner or later, you're going to have to break out of this and get something and get on the board and have a crooked inning.
Hamill's payoff pitch, and Brantley spoils it. It's just like in football, you know, when your offense is consistently going 3 and out, you put so much pressure on that defense, you hope sooner or later it doesn't break.
Yeah, you put pressure on the defense, but then you try harder offensively, and sometimes you get yourself into a rut because you're trying a little bit too hard.
Bounced way in front of the plate. Brantley's aboard with 2 down. And this is an offense that, under normal circumstances, normal conditions, a 2-out walk, you'd still feel like they've got a chance to strike. But with almost the home run being eliminated from your offensive arsenal, a little more difficult.
It is, but it's right now it's one swing from this guy and he can give you the lead if Hamill makes a mistake, and I think he took Hamill deep last year.
High fly ball, right field. Soler fighting the sun, but he makes the catch and the inning is over. So we played 6. It's still 1-0 Kansas City. Visit buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And by the injury lawyers at Elk & Elk. Proud partners of the Cleveland Indians. Call 1-800-ELK, Ohio. Double barrel action in the Cleveland bullpen. Left-hander up for Kansas City. We're coming down the home stretch in this ball game as we enter the 7th inning. It's 1-0 Kansas City. Bottom third of the Royals order due up here for Mike Clevenger, who starts the frame. 88 pitches on the afternoon. He has literally scattered 9 hits today. The only run scoring for Kansas City on a deep fly ball to center field. Bradley Zimmer gave it a game effort, couldn't quite get to it. It bounced right at the base of the wall. Zimmer crashed hard into the center field fence. Cam Gallagher scored on that play with 2 outs, and it's the only run.
And you think about it, 3 double play balls, and that Zimmer throw, and then Gomes picked a guy off first base, then that double loss in the sun. So they've had their opportunities, and they only have 1 run on the board. So I think the Indians should feel lucky that they're just down 1.
Fastball strike, bottom of the zone. Escobar blips on the right. Naquin makes the catch.
Well, Mike Clevenger, we were talking about the base runners, but here's a nice 3-6-1 double play to get him out of an inning, and then a nice changeup for the strikeout to follow. Strike him out, throw him out, double play. Nice easy flip. So you're right, when you give up hits and you scatter them like that, that's doing a heck of a job battling your way through.
Nice breaking ball in there for a strike.
You know, he's taking him into the 7th inning here.
Ground ball. Kipnis charging in, makes the underhand scoop and flips it over for out number 2.
Well, great seats remain for the Tribe's 2nd home series against the Tigers. That'll all start tomorrow. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. All 4 games will begin at 6:10. You can get yourself a district ticket or a $10 KeyBank Kids ticket online only at Indians.com.
So far, weather looks cooperating. At least it's going to be dry for all 4 games.
Balmy, I understand.
Well, by Wednesday 53, by Thursday 64. And Friday, don't get your hopes up, all the way up to 66.
You doing the weather tonight after we leave the game? You going into the station?
Here's a 1-1 swung on and missed by Gallagher. I'll be here all week.
I know you will.
The 1-2 offering is checked. A little low. Clevenger's 2-2. Low fastball. And a full count. He hasn't had a 1-2-3 inning.
Now would be a great time to start on your 100th pitch.
Ground ball to short. Lindor has it go up his arm, and the Royals will keep the inning alive as Gallagher, the catcher, reaches with 2 outs.
Not an easy play. That was on the backhanded side, but he didn't catch it. It went up the, I don't know if it hit him in the heel of the glove. Let's check it out. To a 3-hopper. It did. It hit him on the heel of the glove. Steps on his sunglasses. So he will reach. That'll be an error now on Francisco Lindor.
Those are his hand warmers that came flying out.
Is that what it was?
Yeah. John Jay is swing and a miss. Lindor charged with the error. And the Indians look to Clevenger to try to get out of the inning. Threw it by him. And I mean, he just coming right back with a vengeance. 0-2 the count. Jay slaps it the other way. I'll tell you what, you got to be some kind of tough guy to throw your bare hands up in the stands on a foul ball line drive like that. That's the only run of the game. Oh-2 pitch. Squibber foul. Did you see that guy down there?
Yeah, it's, you know what? I'm surprised people can come out and sit in this, to be honest with you, let alone do what he just did. They're tough, man. They're tough.
Well oiled, one of the two.
Well, whatever it takes.
1-2.
I'd have to be oiled if I'm sitting out there too.
The 0-2 pitch, he reached for it, off balance. Kipnis throws him out. Another terrific job by an Indian starting pitcher, Mike Clevenger. 7 innings of work. He's allowed 1 run, but the Indians are blanked. Well, pitching and defense, that'll keep you in a ball game, and the Indians have had both on display here today.
They certainly have. You know, a well-turned double play there, a throw out at home plate to get out of the inning and cut off the first run of the ball game. A strike him out, throw him out, double play. Been 3 double plays. A pickoff at first base when he's wandering off too much and he's upset. So they really have. They played great defense out here. And, you know, the 1 triple, the extra base hit, is what how Kansas City scored. So now they're going to have to try and score off the bullpen. And it's the Cleveland Clinic call to the bullpen for the Kansas City Royals. Tim Hill coming on, appearing for the 4th time. He had a 1-2-3 8th inning on Friday on 11 pitches. And the left-hander, you know, is a little funky where he throws the baseball from. He's going to face Alonzo Gomes and then Tyler Naquin's scheduled hitter.
And we'll go down to Andre.
Thanks, Matt. Cam Hill is one of the guys, when we were talking to Tito before the series started, after seeing him in Arizona, he thinks this is one of those new young kids that Kansas City will have that he said we'll be tired of by the time you see him in August. He thinks this kid has a great, bright future ahead of him as a lefty out of the pen because of that funky motion he has and because of his ability to throw strikes.
Well, Tim Hill last year in the Texas League averaged a better than 9 strikeouts per 9 innings and had the 5th lowest walks per 9 innings. So it's always good when you've got a left-hander who's crafty, that throws strikes, attacks hitters, doesn't walk people. Yonder Alonso looks at a strike. He's 1 out of 2 today. Jason Hamill only made 88 pitches today, but Ned Yost feeling like with the 1-run lead, he wants to go to his bullpen for the final 3.
And he wants to get those left-handers out of there if they're not going to face Hill here. Get to the right-handers for the 8th and 9th inning.
Alonso fouling it off. Down on the count now, 1-2. Brad Keller getting loose now. Missed outside with the 2 balls and 2 strikes. And Alonso getting a piece, hanging in there, hoping to get one mistake.
Yeah, that's what you want to do. You got to foul off some tough pitches. He cannot be easy to pick up, so you really have to concentrate on keeping that front shoulder in against a tough lefty like this.
In on his hands, and he fights that off as well. Again, Tim Hill was a 32nd round draft pick. Broke his bat, pulls it foul. That was only 4 years ago, too.
Well, anybody that gets to the big leagues after getting drafted in the 32nd round has done a heck of a job, because you're not going to get any chance. You're going to have so many guys in front of you, high draft picks from the years before you, from the draft that you're in. So you've got to be special if you can get to the big league. So you give those guys credit.
Alonso with a new piece of lumber. And the 2-2 pitch. Grounded right back at him. He knocks it down, recovers, and throws him out. 1 down here in the 7th.
Pretty good at bat, man, by Alonso. And I'll tell you, even if it gets by the pitcher, shortstop Escobar's right there. You can see him in the background. If it gets by him, it did. It got him right around the belt buckle, where he was able to knock it down, pick it up, and throw him out. But as a hitter, that's not a bad job of battling a tough lefty.
Yan Gomes 0 for 2. Swung on and missed, and it's 0-2. Rajay Davis on deck to pinch hit for Tyler Naquin. And we'll see if Ned Yost goes to Brad Keller then. Low and away. In tight, not by much, but just off the plate to even the count at 2-2. And now Tim Hill fires it in there. Gomes pops it straight up. Shortstop Alcides Escobar takes care of that. 2 down.
Well, the Toronto Blue Jays are coming to town next weekend. That's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Again, you can get a $15 district ticket or a $10 KeyBank Kids ticket. Go to Indians.com.
Batting for Naquin is number 26, Rajay Davis.
Rajay Davis officially announced as the pinch hitter. Looks like Ned Yost is going to stay with the left-hander, Tim Hill. Low and away, ball 1. 3 teams started the day without having a game in which they had at least 10 hits on the year. The Indians have been held to just 3 hits today. The Royals, who have 9, and Tampa Bay, they have 8 hits. They're in the 5th inning at Fenway. Andrew Miller getting loose. Missed outside. 2 balls and a strike. Three and 1. Fouled right back. Indians have had 5 base runners today, but 3 of the 5 all reaching base after there were already 2 out in an inning. Their best chance today came in the 5th, I guess, when it was a leadoff single by Alonso, but they weren't able to really put anything together there. Payoff pitch, fouled back. It was a 1-out single by Tyler Naquin in that 5th inning, and the Indians had 2 on with only 1 out. But then Zimmer struck out, Lindor grounded out. That's been it. Still, though, it's just a 1-0 game. And the 3-2 again to Rajay. And a liner right at the second baseman Goins. And the inning is over. We'll move on now to the 8th. 1-0 Kansas City.
along with Jensen Lewis. Al Pulowski, join us for Indians Live, brought to you by Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care after this one. Jensen, the same story as yesterday. Great pitching, not so much hitting.
Yeah, I thought Arch made a great point here in the broadcast. You know, when you're not going well, got to get some walks, you got to manufacture, you got to do something, go the other way. A lot of guys taking swings trying to do it all in one fell swoop.
All right, join us after the game for Indians Live. Back upstairs we go. Matt Underwood, Rick Manning. Fellas, take it away.
Well, we'll see if the Indians can muster any kind of offense here down the stretch with 2 turns at bat still to go. Whit Merrifield leading off the 8th. Mike Clevenger back out here presumably to face just Merrifield. Left-handed hitters Mike Moustakas, Lucas Duda to follow, and Andrew Miller ready in the bullpen. Clevenger's 107th pitch of the day in there for a strike. Rajay Davis staying in the game in right field after he batted for Naquin. Good AB, but it ended in frustration with a line drive out. Pulled foul. You know, it's easy. If you're pulling for the Indians, it's easy to say, well, it's another frustrating day for the Tribe. They've only had 3 hits. But it could be equally frustrating for Kansas City. While they do have 9 hits, but they look up and they only have the 1 run.
Yeah, but they'd rather look up and see that they have that 1 run and they're leading. Now they're counting outs.
Popped up, shallow right. Kipnis, a long run out there. He's under it. Makes the catch, 1 down. And Tito will go to Andrew Miller. So we've got a timeout with 1 out here in the 8th inning. Kansas City leading it 1-0, and Mike Clevenger goes 7 1/3 innings in his 2nd start of the year, allowing 1 run on 9 hits, walked 2, struck out 4. Miller time when we come back. Well, 1-0 Kansas City. Players trying to heat up their feet if they can get close enough to that heater without burning it or melting the bottom of their spikes. New pitcher is not Andrew Miller, but Tyler Olson. Miller was up in the Indians bullpen. He was getting loose. We were watching him warm up. Tyler Olson obviously was throwing. We didn't see him, and he ends up coming into the game. It'll be Mike Moustakas with 1 out, bases empty. Moustakas, a couple of hits today, one of them an infield hit. Mike Clevenger went a career high 7 1/3 innings today, and also a career high with 110 pitches. Moustakis shoots it out of play. 2-2. Unfortunately for Cleve, nothing to show for it here today. In fact, he's on the hook.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, he did his job. You know, he showed a little maturity there when he had as many hits as they did, and how he handled them. He made the pitches to get some double play balls, and there goes a strikeout on a good breaking ball.
Tyler Olson takes care of Moustakis. 2 down.
Stepping in now.
And you're going to see him take a lot off of this curveball here, and just there you'll see it 74 miles an hour, and coming down from the side. You can see the rotation on that baseball. Left-hander commits and just doesn't stay back enough.
Lucas Duda 1 for 3 on the afternoon. Kansas City has 15 players on their opening day roster this year that were not on the team's opening day roster a year ago. Lucas Duda is certainly the biggest name among the newcomers, especially when you consider he's presumably filling the spot vacated by Eric Hosmer's departure. Good breaking ball in there for a strike. Now the 1-2. Fouled out of play. Think about yesterday's game, and Duda, with one swing of the bat, provided the game's only run with a homer. Meanwhile, Hosmer down in Houston with San Diego at first base came in on a pop-up. It was right in front of home plate. He overran the ball. It fell behind him about 10 feet from home plate, and it allowed the Astros to score the winning run.
Yeah.
Now the 1-2. Swung on and missed. Tyler Olson pulls the string and strikes him out. The Royals go 1-2-3 and will go to the bottom of the 8th. 1-0 Kansas City. Weapon in cold weather. Both starters excellent once again, but very few scoring opportunities for the Indians today. Only 3 hits. And as we go to the bottom of the 8th, Bradley Zimmer, Frankie Lindor, Jason Kipnis is due up. They'll stay with the left-hander Tim Hill.
Yeah, because they thought if they pinch hit Zimmer, then they would probably go to that bullpen. But the Indians with 2 strikes, their hitting woes continue. Today they are 0 for 12 with a couple of walks. And they get to 2 strikes. That's what you want. I mean, I think Tito's banking that Zimmer has a way to get on base, and with his speed, you can see why he doesn't want to pinch hit him, even though he has struck out 14 of his 26 at-bats this year. He's got to find a way to put the ball in play with his speed.
In off the plate, 3-0. Taking all the way, it's ball 4. And the tying run aboard here to start the bottom of the 8th inning.
Certainly nothing that Ned Yost wanted to see, because that's why he sent Hill back out there, was to get the left-hander out. So he's quickly out of the dugout going to get Grimm.
Justin Grimm will be coming on for Kansas City, and he'll be facing the go-ahead run at the plate when we return. And he'll be facing right-hander Justin Grimm. Grimm worked a scoreless inning, allowing 1 hit in yesterday's ball game. That hit came off the bat of Frankie Lindor. In fact, it was a line drive single to right field for Lindor in yesterday's game. And with the speedster Bradley Zimmer aboard at first base, how aggressively does Terry Francona play this?
Well, I want to see what Grimm's move is like. I certainly don't want to give up the bat of Lindor for a bunt here in this situation. With the speed of Zimmer over there, you could start the runner, you know, depending on if the count works. I don't want to give up an out.
He's quick to the plate, because remember, yesterday Lindor was thrown out trying to steal.
Well, yeah, and it was almost like a pitch out, though.
It's true.
You know, it was a pitch out. It was a fastball up and away. But I still don't like the fact of giving up an out here. You're banking on you have to get a hit to tie it.
Grimm misses, low, ball 1.
Yeah, there you go. You got to try and get the count in your favor. And you're right, he's quick to home plate, so he may be tough to steal on, but you don't have to steal. You can always hit and run. You know, and maybe find a hole. As a matter of fact, that shortstop side is wide open.
Yeah, all of a sudden,
right now,
Escobar's going on the second base side of the bag, so that creates another shift for the Royals. There goes Zimmer. Pitch is low. The throw is way offline. And Bradley Zimmer has his second stolen base of the year, and it's a big one here in the bottom of the 8th with the Indians down a run.
And that's why you got to take a chance. He picked the right pitch. Watch, it's one he's got a backhand. and that was down in the dirt and come up, and his throw is going to be elevated. And with the speed of Zimmer, he could steal it easily. So that's what I like. Now pull the ball and get him to third, or get him to third any way you want to. But you got to get him to third.
Lindor 0 for 3 on the afternoon. He squares, he bunts it, and it doesn't go anywhere. Just right there at home plate. 2-1 to count. Lindor's longest drought without an extra base hit last year was 7 games. We're now 8 games plus almost through the 9th. He bunts, gets it down. Moustakas only play at first. And he gets Lindor on the sacrifice. The tying run now 90 feet away.
Well, there you go. The leadoff walk, the stolen base, the sacrifice. Now you have the tying run at third base. So it's going to be up to Kipnis to try and get him in now. And Kansas City will play the infield in, but with the speed, you got to think of the speed of Zimmer here in this situation. Do you send him on contact? I'll tell you what, I certainly would.
I mean, the way things are going offensively, I think you've got to try to force the issue. Down low, ball 1.
Kipnis looking for a pitch where he can hit in the air.
Swung on and missed. Chased one down and in to even the count.
That's what he went down on off Hamill. His last at bat was that good curveball down and in. That was with 2 strikes. But with the infield in, as a hitter, you always feel like you should be 100 points better with those guys in.
Jam back to the mound. He fumbles it, and Zimmer wasn't going on contact. Pulled him off the bag, and Kipnis is safe.
That is a break. He was not going on contact. And even if you are, sometimes you have to read if that ball's going to get past the pitcher. And he read it was not going to. So I think he stopped. And then all of a sudden, Grimm panics, throwing the ball to first base. He has plenty of time to get Kipnis. Look at him. And he throws, and it's wide. And then off of the bag he comes. So that is a huge break. That's going to be an error on Grimm. Now it's first and third.
And with 1 out, they'll play the middle infielders more like double play depth. Well, sort of. Let's see.
Well, yeah, that's going to be double play. Absolutely.
That Goins about halfway between. And now Escobar shifting all over to the right side of the bag again.
They banked that Ramirez is going to pull that ball. Now it's up to Escobar. If he gets a ground ball, he's got to take it himself, where they had confusion earlier in the day from the second base side.
And Ramirez awaits the 1-0 pitch. Winning run now at first base, or I should say the go-ahead run at first base, bottom of the 8th inning. Pitch inside, 2-0.
Well, they don't want to give him any swinging room whatsoever. Try to force him to pull the baseball. You can see the 3 on the right, and Moustakas right there at the cut of the grass. Anything hit to him, he can come home with it. But again, he's dealing with Zimmer's speed.
Runner goes. Kipnis takes off, and Ramirez fouls it off.
2-0 count. Start the runner. You think you're going to get a fastball. If you like the pitch, you swing at it. But he fouled it off, and Kip was off and running.
Well, Jose Ramirez just 2 for 32 to start the year. And the 2-1. Kipnis is off again. Pitch is swung and rolled toward third. The pitcher's only play is at first, and he pulled him off the bag again. The Indians have tied the game. Zimmer scoring from third on a couple of bizarre plays here in the inning.
Well, that was almost a check swing, and he lays down a perfect bunt. Now, I thought the first baseman was on the bag from my first look. The only play was first. So he switched feet, and that might have tricked the umpire. He goes in head first and belly flops on first base. But the Indians tie the game regardless of what happens here, and Kipnis goes to second, but I thought his foot was on first base. We'll see.
Yeah, it was, but I can see where from Lance Barksdale's position, it might have been hard for him to see because he was on the other side of the bag. But either way, as you mentioned, the Indians have tied the game.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You get a run in, and that's the only thing that counts. It wasn't pretty, and it was sort of a gift run, but you certainly take it if you're the Cleveland Indians. The leadoff walk on a stolen base, he was sacrificed to third. Grim panic trying to get Kip at first base after Zimmer was frozen at third, and then a check swing bunt. The throw to first, which I think they have him, gets the run home. And here's the challenge play. See the foot on the base?
He's dragging the bag.
Yeah, he caught it. You can see him dragging the bag, so I don't think there's any question there. Ramirez will be out, but he'll get an RBI. And, you know, he is out. And we have a tie game, but now the Indians have a chance to win the game. I want to see it. They got to walk Brantley here, don't they? I would think.
Edwin on deck, though.
No, I'd take my chances. Wow, what a strange inning, but one that the Indians are certainly going to take. And it's not over yet. We'll see. He's down in the crouch. They haven't said anything, so they're going to pitch to Brantley.
Michael Brantley, a base hit in the first inning. And now the catcher's going to ditch the sunglasses. Gallagher says, I don't need these anymore. Again, Kansas City, no shift for Brantley. They play him straight up around the horn and in the outfield. Jason Kipnis, the go-ahead run at second base, and Brantley looks at a curveball in there for a strike.
Nice pitch to start this off in this at-bat. Nice breaking ball that gets in the strike zone for strike one. And he's been trying to crowd every hitter, Grim, that he has faced. He can get it up there in a hurry. So I don't see him giving Brantley any swinging room either.
And that's called a strike, and Brantley says no, sir.
One in, one away. But he may not like the call. Michael is a good two-strike hitter.
It's outside the box, too.
You see, yeah, that was a bad call. The first one I could see, that one was not a good call. So he's got his work cut out for him now.
Down low in the dirt. Good block. 1-2.
Brantley, a guy normally, if he's in there and he's swinging it like he should, I would think they would automatically walk him in a situation like this. But they choose to go at him. There's the show fastball inside. He wasn't going to throw it for a strike. See if they can get him to chase it. He did not. The count is now 2-2. So Michael getting back into the count now.
Two in the air, left field, back goes Jay, and he's got plenty of room to make the catch. And that'll end the inning. The Indians manufacture the tying run on a walk, a stolen base, a sacrifice, an error, and a check swing ground out. The Cleveland Indians and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians. And we go to the ninth. 1-1 game. Cody Allen will come on to pitch for Cleveland. 5, 6, 7 spots due up for Kansas City. Jorge Soler, Ryan Goins, and Alcides Escobar, the scheduled hitters. And we'll see if Cody Allen can hold it right here. Give the Indians an opportunity in the bottom of the ninth. The Indians able to do today what they could not do yesterday, and that's just cobble a run together somehow, some way, and that's exactly what they did in the eighth to tie it up.
No kidding, they sure did. I mean, you take advantage of gifts, and they certainly did that inning. Now it's up to Cody and that bullpen to throw some zeros on the board.
How about a 0?
Yeah. That's fine. Start with 1.
Soler, a 3-for-3 day, benefited by the bright sunshine in right field that Tyler Naquin couldn't account for in the 6th inning, and led to Soler reaching second base. First 2 times up, though, were legitimate base hits. Cut, but a foul right back over the screen, and 2-2 the count on Soler. Brandon Maurer getting loose in KC's pen. So is Herrera, should they take the lead. The 2-2. Strike 3 call.
Cody Allen going with the fastball away, right on the outside edge. Gets the call. Strikeout number 1.
Ryan Goins with a foul tip for strike 1. Fastball inside corner, 0-2. Now the 0-2 offering. Swung out and missed. He chased one in the dirt. Gomes applies the tag. 2 down.
Well, he doesn't mess around. 2 heaters and then a hook. And he could not check his swing and goes around 3 pitches. Cody gets back-to-back strikeouts.
And Alcides Escobar 0 for 3 to the plate. Bounced in front of the plate.
Gomes picked that ball like an infielder. You see it way out front. He didn't even move. He just backhanded it and picked it.
fastball fouled away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Now the 1-1, low and away, 2 balls and a strike. Low, 3-1. Tampa Bay looking to end that 7-game losing streak against Boston today, and they're beating up the Red Sox 7-2, and they've reached the 10-hit mark. So there are only 2 teams left now without 10 hits in a game this year, and they're both right here. I guess having said that, it's no surprise they're scratching and clawing at each other, trying to find a way to win this game. 1-1 in the 9th. Cody Allen's payoff pitch in the air to center field. Zimmer makes the catch. The Royals go 1-2-3. Will go to the bottom of the 9th, tied at 1. He stole second, went to third on a sacrifice bunt by Francisco Lindor. Then you get the goofy play right here. The error that allowed Kipnis to reach, so first and third, Zimmer didn't score on the play. But then the check swing roller, Zimmer scores. And even though he was originally ruled safe, he would be called out, but the Indians tied the game at 1. And so now here in the bottom of the 9th, it'll be Edwin Encarnacion, Yonder Alonso, and Yan Gomes for the Indians. And Brandon Maurer on for Kansas City. Maurer's 3rd appearance of the year. Encarnacion 0 for 3 today, and he rips one foul down the left side out of play. Big swing and a miss. 0-2. And he's out on 3 pitches. 1 down.
Comes back after the fastball, throws that breaking ball. You can see the spin to it, going down and away, gets him to chase over and swing over the top for a strikeout.
Yonder Alonso 1 for 3 this afternoon. Way outside, ball 1. Big shift. Second baseman Goins out on the outfield grass. Way out in front, breaking ball. 1-1 to count.
Back-to-back changeups.
Game time temperature was 32 degrees and is held steady. Just a frigid day. 2-1 pitch. Check. Called a strike. Coldest day ever recorded in this ballpark's 25-year history. Up high, full count. Outfield is straight up and deep. And the 3-2 is low, ball 4. Winning run aboard here in the bottom of the ninth. Now we're going to get a pinch runner as Eric Gonzalez will come on and run for Alonso.
For the Indians, now running at first base for Alonso, number 9, Eric Gonzalez. Batting for the Tribe.
No.
Is number 7.
Jan Gomes will bat. He's 0 for 3 this afternoon. And the Royals shift 3 to the other side of the infield. They go from a 3-man shift on the right side to a 3-man shift over on the left side. Tied him up. Strike 1. Low and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, all it would take would be a pitch just a little bit away, and Gomes could just poke it to right, and it would. There's nobody over there. Nobody. With Merrifield holding the runner on base. Down low, 2-1. And with Soler playing so deep in right field, if you just punch it through the right side of the infield, Gonzalez easily makes it to third base. .95-mile-an-hour fastball. It was up, it was away, but he fouls it back.
Yeah, he had himself in a situation where he pretty much was assured of getting a fastball, but he couldn't square it up. Just a little too high for Jan, and he fouled it straight back. Had a good swing at it, though.
And the 2-2. Inside, he missed, full count. Even on a cold, brittle day, you can see Jan was standing his ground. He figured if this breaking ball backs up, I'm going to wear it just to get on base.
Yeah, ball 4 base hit him here. That's what you're looking for.
Gonzalez goes 3-2 is grounded foul. Yad Gomes trying to deliver a big knock right here. With Gonzalez running on the pitch, if he finds some green grass,
yeah,
Eric's got a chance to easily get to third base.
He was leaning towards second base, so he's probably running again. Yes, but that's the key, is the hitter putting the ball in play. You swing through it, there's a good chance you're going to get, strike him out, throw him out. Because once again, we mentioned it earlier when it happened to Kansas City, you're not trying to steal a base, you start your runner, but the runner's defensive because he's got to make sure the pitcher's throwing the ball home first. He's not worried about getting a great jump. Got to make sure he goes to the plate.
Gonzalez is off. Gomes pops it back and into the seats. It's a day in which the teams are not only battling each other, but battling the really frigid temperatures as well. And for the hitters, every time you miss-hit one or don't quite square it up, you feel it all the way up your arm into your elbows. 8th pitch of the at-bat for Jan Gomes. Another toss. Gonzalez with a dive back. Runner goes. And another foul back to the screen.
Pretty good battle going on now between Gomes and Maurer.
The modern amenities make it a little easier for the current ball players to stay loose when you're an extra man, but on a day like this, even with the heaters in the dugouts and the ability to maybe go up into the clubhouse and stretch before you come into the game, for a guy like Eric Gonzalez to just run in there, jump in here in the 9th inning and be ready to go, not easy. He's getting a workout. He's off and running. Gomes with a high fly ball. Deep left. Back is Jay at the wall. It is gone, and the Indians win it. Jan Gomes walks it off with a 2-run homer. On a weekend in which the ball just would not carry, Gomes somehow climbs the wall and just barely clears it. And the Indians walk off a 3-1 win, and they take the series, winning 2 out of 3 from Kansas City.